Hi everybody, my name is Lataya. I'm the multifaceted mom, and today we are back with another video. So today I really want to just talk about, let's minimize the fuck ups, okay? Because I think I was having a little chat with myself, and yes, as y'all know, I can talk to myself sometimes. I was having a little chat with myself, and I'm just thinking, like, I am so tired of having the same goals and having to constantly start over. This can be my weight loss and my debt-free journey. And I definitely feel like if you're like me, it's like we are like this. And like we already know, life is never going to be linear up, but I feel like I'm going like this. And I know that's like a weird type of comparison, but I think that as much as life can happen, a lot of things are really within our control. And it's very cringy to think about, because that means that when you realize how much is actually in your control, you realize how much you are actually self-sabotaging yourself to accomplish what you want to accomplish. I'll give you a prime example. I am trying to pay off my debt. In our last video, we really talked about our higher selves and how we're meeting our higher selves. And the reality is that, yes, nobody planned to be laid off, okay? Nobody planned to not have a job for this long or be laid off in an extremely hard economy. But what also is a part of this type of situation that I've created for myself, and this is me taking accountability on camera, what also is a part of it is impulsive spending, not planning out meals to where I am grocery shopping responsibly, too much Starbucks, okay, babes? And if you're like me, I'm talking to you just as much as I'm talking to myself. But it's like, I am literally making micro decisions every single day that are affecting where I want to be. I am literally self-sabotaging myself, and that's a very hard pill to swallow. And if you're like me, where you really have this vision for yourself and you don't necessarily know how to get there, you know how. You just haven't taken the time to actually not only plan how, but also plan to not fuck up. You haven't planned to minimize your fuck ups. So let's talk about it. Okay, and again, I'm talking to myself. I'm not talking at you. I'm talking to myself. And sometimes we just need tough love, and just to really be able to say, what the fuck is real? Like, we have to be real with ourselves. So a part of minimizing your fuck ups is really about building a routine to combat how you would typically fuck up. So for example, in the morning time, if you're a mom, you already know sometimes your mornings can be so hectic, right? It could be hectic, you could be overwhelmed, and then you get to a mental space of either emotionally making a decision to like buy a Starbucks coffee or not have time to make coffee or something before, or make breakfast, right? But how can we minimize the fuck up? We can build routines. So while your morning routine might not be as smooth, you can really set yourself up at nighttime. And something that has really helped me, which is why I thought about making this video, is I would set the girls' clothes out the night before. I would set out my clothes the night before. The bags will already be in the car, so then that way it's super easy. My gym clothes will already be ready to be put on, so then that way I'm not scrambling through clothes to get things done. Like, these are certain ways that, or examples of minimizing the fuck ups. Because if your goal is to not buy coffee and it's to, work out and minimize that, then that is combating what would naturally happen if things were to go to shit. Another thing is that sometimes, I may be hungry before I work out. And this actually happened yesterday, where I was so fucking hungry before I worked out. I don't even know why. But I tried to boil some eggs while the girls were getting ready, but my damn dishes wasn't washed. And why wasn't my dishes washed? Because I didn't have time to wash them. I didn't. I was doing homework. But why was I doing homework? Because I didn't set the time during the day to do my homework when my kids were at school. And why didn't I do that? Because I didn't have any boundaries around the time that I have with my clients. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of things trickle into the other, and it really affects the overall goal. So now I'm at a standpoint of, okay, I need to create certain boundaries so I can have certain routines in place. I need to have reset days on Wednesday and Friday so then things won't be so hectic and I can really smoothly and slowly accomplish my goals without it being so fucking chaotic. And if you are like me, that is some of the things that you really need to take a step back and look at. You literally need to look at, how do I fuck up? If your goal is not to spend money on food, think about when you spend money on food. Why do you spend money on food? Okay, I'm spending money on food because I don't feel like cooking. Okay, well, babe, meal prep every Sunday. Oh, I don't want to eat the same thing for food. I don't want to eat the same thing every day. Okay, that's fine. So when you're at the grocery store and you grocery shop, take that same $20 that you would spend on one meal and say, I'm going to buy some frozen Chinese food that I could warm up when I'm craving Chinese food. I'm going to buy some frozen pizza that it can give me that pizza taste or whatever when I start to crave that. Because now you're eliminating the chances of you fucking up, because when you are in the line of pizza or whatever, you're gonna be like, oh, I actually got a pizza at home that I can just throw in the oven. So instead of waiting 15 minutes at Little Caesars or whatever for a pizza, I can just go home and literally eat the same thing I was gonna eat at the pizza place. And honestly, all of it's unhealthy, all of it's nasty. I don't really want to hear that, because honestly, Little Caesars be nasty sometimes. I mean, everybody don't eat that, but my whole point is, let's not make the excuse of like, oh, well, grocery store stuff is nasty, because honestly, fast food places will fuck up your food too. And then you have wasted money and wasted calories just for no reason. Also, the way to minimize fuck ups is to stop giving yourself so much space to fuck up. Honestly, I see it a lot. When my friends talk to me and they tell me they goals, I can honestly predict exactly how they not gonna accomplish their goals based on how they not setting themselves up to accomplish their goals. This actually not only goes for friends, but it goes for me too. So that's why I can easily think about it. If you want to wake up to work out, oh, that was a wood twister. Anyway, if you want to work out early in the morning, but you decide, I'm not going to set my alarm to get up any early, I'm just going to let my body wake me up, you are literally giving yourself the space to fuck up already. Let's take it back. Let's say you do set your alarm. And if you set your alarm to work out in the morning, but you are so busy watching TV the night before, staying up talking on the phone the night before to where you go to bed late, you're setting yourself up to fuck up in the morning time. So while you can't have the mentality of I'm gonna wake up no matter what, you might have all intentions to wake up no matter what, I'm gonna be committed. The reality is that you're not. The reality is that you're not going to. 9 times out of 10, you're leaving so much room for you to fuck up on your goals or whatever you set, that you're gonna do it. And then you're going to give yourself grace. And a friend of mine actually talked about giving yourself too much grace. I actually wholeheartedly believe that, because sometimes we set ourselves up for failure with the hopes, the idealistic, naive way that, oh yeah, we're going to accomplish this big goal. We set ourselves up to fail, and then we turn around and we say, oh, well, I'm going to give myself grace because of this, and that. No, because you can give yourself grace over and over and over again until you wake up a year later and you're in the same place that you said you didn't want to be the year before. Because every 3-4 days you fucked up. Every other day you messed up with a certain goal that you wanted to accomplish, and because you didn't stay on your stuff, you didn't accomplish it. I'll give you an example. I'm struggling to drink water, okay? So I couldn't buy myself, like, I have a refillable water bottle, but I give myself too much room to mess up, because if I have to get up in the middle of my workday, refill my bottle, I might not feel like doing it. So I just have a gallon of water. I felt like that would be easier to have. I also have reminders in my phone. I know, I'm a little obsessed. I have reminders in my phone every single day at 12 o'clock. First off, I have an alarm at 6:50 in the morning that says I am a healthy, fit, fruit, and veggie lover every single day. Okay? I have a 7 a.m. alarm, God and gym, every day. That reminds me to read my devotion. I have another alarm at 7:15 in the morning on Sunday in the car for church every Sunday. Like, I am very meticulous on having to every single day alarm at 12 o'clock and at 3 o'clock. Drink water. Make sure you're drinking water. Literally. Like, that's how meticulous you have to be when it comes to setting your goals up. Minimize suspect, because again, life fucking happens, y'all. Stress happens. Everything happens. I am not saying don't be human, but what I am saying is set yourself up to where being human still doesn't stop you from accomplishing your goals. It still doesn't stop you from having the discipline you need to accomplish whatever you're trying to accomplish. If you're not trying to spend money and you know that on the weekends you tend to spend more money, plan your meal prep on Thursday for the weekend. Like, that was a game changer for me when I meal prepped on Thursday and Friday. Even if it was junk food, even if it was like healthy junk food or whatever. Like, even if I say, okay, I know I usually eat sweets on the weekend. Instead of ordering sweets, I'm going to make some avocado brownies or a new recipe. And that's going to be like my Friday self-care thing, where I'm preparing myself to have a healthier weekend of not only not spending money, but also eating healthier and trying a different recipe that is going to accomplish our higher self. The goals that I have for my higher self, which is to be vegan and a healthy fruit and veggie lover. So that's all for today. If you have any questions, I really want to know how you plan to minimize your fuck ups, because we got to be real with ourselves. I know it hurts. It really does, because over the last 2 weeks, things went to shit really quick when my kids had to stay home for a whole week. And I was like, oh my God, all these routines that I set up, I didn't prepare for this. I didn't. But then once I started to think about it, that still didn't make an excuse to make certain bad decisions that had nothing to do with where I want to be. So that really set me back in January with, like, for example, my weight loss. Where now I'm like, okay, how can I make a contingency plan for shit like that? So yeah, that's all for today. If you like this video, like and subscribe, and definitely comment and let me know. Let's talk about it.